What's up, everybody? My name is Estics, and I'm the world's first and only Magic the Gathering player. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the new spoilers from the set Bloomburrow. I'm really excited for this set. I bought all the precons for it. I'm most excited about the fact that they're going to have a lot of lords in this set, things that create tokens or boost other things, like squirrels are going to be a big thing for this set. I'm really excited for that. It looks like that tribes are going to be really thought on for this one, so I'm really excited to see how some of the other tribes work. It's really cool to see little tribes in Magic the Gathering, all the different ones like slivers, goblins, humans not so much. Let's jump into some of the cards that I'm the most excited about for this set because they are really looking good. The first one I want to talk about is Breeza, the Bounding Spring. Whenever Breeza, the Bounding Spring, enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. If an opponent controls more lands than you, you gain 4 life. And if an opponent has more life than you, then you get 2 +1/+1 2 1/1 blue fish creature tokens. If an opponent controls more creatures than you, draw a card, and if an opponent has more cards of their hand than you. So basically, it's really a evener of odds. Basically something that's like, if you drop this, you're probably going to even out in some way. I'm guessing that all of those abilities will pop off if you have, let's say you have 4 people that you're playing against and they all have more life than you or more creatures, then all of those abilities would pop off for each player, which I think I was really excited for. I would probably do something like basically something to maybe make sure that if I'm in the game, I kind of stay in the game. So I want to run this. If I'm running this as my commander, maybe I want to focus on, which I don't think it's going to be a great commander, don't get me wrong, I just think it's one of the cooler ones. I think if it did come down to it though, and this was my commander, I would probably focus around a blink strategy, kind of like a don't touch me. If I get behind, I'll just blink back in, and I'm going to maybe fuel a certain player or just try to get ahead. So something that'll blink my stuff and to get ahead. It'd be cool to have a blink turn where you blink in and you get a bunch of fish tokens. That'd be really cool, which I think I'm pretty excited for. I'm kind of excited for the fish tokens. We saw some in New Capana, and which was a really cool set because they couldn't be blocked. But honestly, there wasn't enough to build anything too cool. I think I used Reservoir Kraken a lot, and it was really fun to use. But anyway, the next one is Mrs. Bumbleflower. What a cute little guy, by the way. I'm not usually a big fan of cute creatures, only because I think cute creatures are kind of like, okay, it's a cute creature, but I'm more of like a big monstery sort of, I want monsters, I want to attack you, I want to hit you with something. But this is the complete opposite of that, and I think it really draws my attention because it's a group hug commander. It does basically what you think a rabbit would do. It would try to fuel each other and make each other better and be fun. And I think for a group hug commander, it's pretty interesting. Whenever you cast a spell, target opponent draws a card, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. It gains flying until end of turn. If this is the second time this ability resolves, then you draw 2 cards. So that's really awesome. You give someone a card and then you get to put a 1/1 counter on a target creature. It gets flying until end of turn. If this is the second time, then you draw 2 cards. That boosts your opponent. But if your opponent isn't coming after you, then it's like it gives you sort of a, oh hey, do you want to be friends? Let's team up against this guy, team up against this guy. And through that you can basically just be like, hey, we're friends, right? Basically through group hug you can keep each other from getting out of control, and it's really cute. I love it. I think it'd be really good with other rabbits. I think rabbits are going to be really fun because they boost each other, and while no one's focusing on you because you're being their friend, you can boost your stuff. The number 3 is Brea, the Riptide Rogue. I think this one's awesome. Other creatures you control have prowess, which is, I'm not gonna lie, really strong. If you're using a concept around this card, like Storm or something like that, that maybe gives you, let's say, I think Empty the Warrens has Storm. Let me double check on that. Yeah, if you use a card like Empty the Warrens where it creates other creature tokens, whenever you create a creature token, it'll give that creature prowess. So whenever you cast your next one, it gets prowess too. So all of your creatures are gaining stuff off of you spell slinging, which is kind of evil, but it's also like a really interesting concept that you really don't see in Magic too much. Giving others stuff prowess, which, I mean, you really have to get it out, and, you know, it's swarming the field with a bunch of creatures, and it's giving them power to get through, and usually those creatures are just like 1/1 goblins and stuff like that, which is like, oh yeah, that's really cool. But if you use its other ability where a certain creature can't be blocked, it's like, now you have prowess, gaining power, you're gaining creatures, and you're gaining ways to get through. So all 3 of those things just to do one thing. I think that one's probably one of the strongest on the list, but I think that one is number 3 for me. Number 2 is Camellia the Seedmeister. So super cool. I think squirrels in this set are going to be beyond good. I think they're going to be almost phenomenal, but I want to kind of focus on this one in particular because I didn't think it was the strongest, but it really had the strongest squirrel potential, I think. Other squirrels you control have menace, and she also has menace whenever you sacrifice one or more foods. So now foods are going to be play a bigger part in squirrels, which is interesting because they do scavenge and stuff like that. And then you also pay 2 colorless and you use forage, which is put a +1/+1 counter on each other squirrel you control. That's two mana. Oh my gosh, 2 mana to give every other squirrel +1/+1. Squirrels can get out of control very quick, especially in black and green, which is a color that has a lot of potential to get a lot of creatures out on the battlefield and a lot of potential to remove a lot of stuff on top of getting them out so they can get through a lot easier. And then they added a bonus of getting her more and more creatures to attack with and putting 1/1s. That's crazy. That's actually one of the scariest things I've ever seen in Commander, because usually when you see something like that, it's usually like prowess where it'll go away at the end of the turn. It's usually not prowess because you don't see prowess a lot. That kind of gives everything that, but this kind of gives it in a different way where it sticks around, which is actually a little bit scarier in my opinion. So without further ado, my favorite thing that has come out so far, Wick the World Mind. Yeah, I think that's what it is. He is a legendary creature, rat warlock. He's black, blue, and red. We don't see a lot of blue in these rat decks unless you're playing ninjas, which is cool, but I'm not really into that style of rats. I like kind of like the other type of rats where I can get a lot of stuff, a lot of rats out and everything. Whenever Wick or another rat enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black snail token. So now we're not only doing squirrels, but we're also doing other. If you don't control one, you put one onto the battlefield. If you do control one, put a +1/+1 counter on a snail you control. So that would be really good for snail creatures. Snail creatures, not only snail tokens, but snail creatures that you have. So this can be snail tribal and rat tribal. So that's going to be an interesting team up for both of these creatures, which I'm super excited for. For a black, a blue, and a red, you can sacrifice a snail and it deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to each opponent. Then you draw cards equal to the creature's sacrificed power. Holy mackerel. You can do direct damage to each opponent with this too, which is crazy. And then you get to draw cards equal to that. So this is not only a counters, not only a tokens deck, but this is also a slug rat tribal deck. And I think this is the rat tribal that I have been looking for all along. So this is probably my number 1 throughout the whole thing. Like I saw this and I said, I think I figured out what I want to build as my main deck from Bloomburrow, and it's slug rat tribal. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys sticking around. What are you guys excited for? I know what I'm excited for. Have you guys bought any of the Commander deck boxes? Because I bought all 4 of the precons. So hopefully that'll be okay. I mean, maybe it'll be okay. Let me know if you guys are building any other tribal decks in this set. I really am excited for this set. One of my favorite sets I think are ever going to release in Magic because of the Lords. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out. Happy castings.